Monoatomic gold, the secrets to live forever, maybe, is the title of this video. I'm your host, Wayne Lambright. So, what is monoatomic gold? Let's start with how you make it. 2 chunks of gold on electrical leads submerged in water with a pinch of salt. After 10 minutes, this water should turn red or turn pink. And from the positive to the negative, atoms of gold will be attracted this direction, and some will be in the water. This is an electrolytic solution of gold. Then you drink it, and your body absorbs the gold atoms. So this is my own theory, and I had a few clues to get to this conclusion. One of them is called Ormus, and it's in the title, it's in the description of this video. There's a link to a video about Ormus, and Ormus was the semen of the gods. And it's a white powder that people would eat. You mix it up with water, and it looks like semen, and you drink it. And why would you drink powdered gold? That's a logical question. And so they don't give you answers, but I have some answers. Maybe some answers. And I'll tell you some clues of how I got here. So there's something called colloidal silver, and it's the same thing as this, but instead of chunks of gold, you use chunks of silver. And colloidal silver, some people are drinking it for health benefits. And one man drank too much of it and his skin turned blue. Why? Well, silver oxidizes, it tarnishes, like you have to polish silverware, a teapot or something. So this man drank so much of this colloidal silver that his skin turned blue permanently. And that itself is interesting, because if you look at the Hindus, the people from India, I think Ganesh, one of their gods, has blue skin. Maybe that god was a person with pale skin, but they drank the colloidal silver and became blue. Why? Is there something to having silver in your body that helps you live longer or helps with medical needs? Many people think that drinking colloidal silver has health properties. I don't know. I can't attest to anything. It's a clue. So I thought, well, if the guy's skin turned blue from drinking colloidal silver, that means atoms of silver impregnated themselves into the cellular structure of the human body. So every cell got an atom of silver or more. Then the story of Ormus, where people are eating powdered gold. What is powdered gold? It's gold in powder form. And I told you how to make it. So you would put the electricity on the gold, and then the water would turn pink or reddish. And that's when you know gold atoms are in there. I did some copper electroplating a year ago, and instead of 2 chunks of gold, I had 2 chunks of copper, and within 5 minutes, my water turned a very beautiful aqua blue color because it had atoms of copper suspended in the water. And the water needs a pinch of salt to make the electrons flow. I was trying to electroplate copper to steel, and it didn't work because I learned you need to first electroplate the steel with nickel, then do the process again with copper, and then you'll get a copper electroplate. So when my experiment failed, I left it outdoors, and a week later I went back, and some beautiful crystals had grown inside that were blue because of the copper. I tried to touch the crystal, and they shattered. What I learned by this experiment was there was where's my is my chat turned off? My chat is turned off. Hold on a sec here. It's not what I wanted. Maybe there is no chat for this one. Sorry, folks. No, live chat. Yeah, live chat is turned on. Okay, good. Top chat. Oh, there it is. The little window that's normally there isn't there. Okay, so there's a few stories of humans that have lived 1,000 years, I've heard, and then there's a story of two gods that were humans, but they lived to be 270,000 years old, or it's 60,000 years old. And maybe the way they lived to be so old is eating gold. We've heard the story that every cell in our human body every few years is replaced with a new cell. So in 2 years, we're not the same person we are today. This flesh in 2 years is new flesh, new human cells. And why do we die? We don't know. And maybe the secret to living older is monoatomic gold. Why were the Egyptians creating vases full of monoatomic gold? Why? In Israel, a few years ago, they opened a cave and they found vases of white powder, and it turned out to be gold. And these were they had Egyptian hieroglyphs, so the Egyptians were hoarding powdered gold. And I think the answer is they ate it as a health benefit to living longer. I was just telling this story to my mom this morning. Then there's so, I mean, that's kind of all I have on monoatomic gold. It's easy to make. It wouldn't, gold is, it's not harmful to the human body. So it wouldn't hurt to try. I also think the reason it works is there is a cure for cancer called the Raymond Rife treatment, and he puts radio waves on tissue, and cancer cells die at a specific frequency. Let's say that frequency is 500. It kills cancer cells, but it doesn't kill human flesh. Let's say human flesh is killed at 400 frequency cycles per second. So at the right frequency, you can do harmonic coupling. It's like when you blow on a beer bottle, it goes woo. It's the same frequency. And so it's like shattering a wine glass. So you can shatter the cells of cancer like a wine glass with harmonic frequencies from a frequency generator. And it's called Rife, R-I-F-E, Roy Raymond Rife. He discovered this in the 30s. Scripps College in San Diego did the medical trials, and they had amazing results. 13 patients cured. And you can buy a Rife machine from a company called spooky2.com, SPOKY number 2.com. This is all speculation, but if the stories of people living longer are true, how do they do it? And maybe the answer is gold. Then there's another story of why do we like gold so much, and that we humans were put on Earth by an alien civilization called the Anunnaki, and they made us in the image of themselves to harvest gold and to collect gold because they need gold for their planet to protect their atmosphere. I know it's crazy. But we humans do seem to be obsessed with collecting gold. And it has to, why don't we collect silver too? But silver can be confused with lead and tin and palladium and platinum. I think maybe gold is unique because it's a different color. It also doesn't oxidize. And so we just have a weird obsession with gold. And, just because nations have gold, they rise and fall. It doesn't protect your nation from failure. I mean, it's just a weird thing to collect. Diamonds are pretty valuable, but nations aren't necessarily collecting lots of diamonds. And I do know Russia has a huge diamond collection. Um, so I think there's more to gold than we humans have really put together. And I think it might be that gold is the secret to longevity, to living more than 100 years. This is all speculation. So just treat this video as like the first step in your investigation or the possibility. I did something called Toastmasters, which is a public speaking and leadership organization. And speech number 9, when you're a beginner, is called the persuasive speech. It's to get people to consider an alternate viewpoint. So today, I want you to consider an alternate viewpoint that maybe by eating powdered gold could help you live longer. Now, let me tell you the science. I'm an electrical engineer, physicist. Let me tell you some electricity science here. So, electrical induction, this earth that we live on, here's a wire, okay? And if this was a magnet, if I went like this, I just made electricity. So it's a ferrite material, and the presence of a moving magnetic field induces electricity. So pretend this wire are the gold atoms in your skin. Well, where's the magnet? We're living on the magnet. The earth is a magnet. So as we walk, we would induce electricity. So those atom molecules would become energized, and that electricity might resonate and kill the cancer, like the Rife treatment. So maybe it's that simple. Ugh. Ugh. Well, friends, that's it for this video. Normally, I would go on and talk about politics. I'm going to end this video, and I'm going to start another video right after this, and we'll talk about politics in the world. So I hope you liked what I had to say. This video was about monoatomic gold, where you put 2 chunks of gold connected to a 12-volt battery. You'll see bubbles of oxygen and hydrogen, and then eventually the water will turn pink or red. And then you drink it. All right, cheers. And also the link to Ormus is in the description. And after this video, I'm going to start another one. So I'll be back in a few minutes. Cheers. Bye.